Not for a while. It's so funny that you just mentioned her because I thought about her as I walked in, starting to wonder like who's gonna be back, and she usually comes back. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Sure. We have to have periodic. Well, that was Good morning, friends online. I think, is that Olivia?
And it's Tracy McCuckran.
And Olivia Harvey.
Who do we have joining us this morning?
Olivia Harvey?
Yep. Hi, Olivia.
Hi.
Oh, and Tracy McCuckran. I'm on my company's Zoom license. That's why I'm showing this. America's won't sell me. We have several licenses.
Yeah, and Olivia. Olivia, what's her last name again?
Harvey?
Oh, wait,
Harvey.
Olivia Harvey, and then Tracy, what's your last name?
McCuckran. McCuckern.
Okay. Marilyn, did you get most of that? Wonderful. Is it
McCuckran.
McCracklin? Yeah, and then Deb is joining us as well. Deb, Rough. Wonderful. All right, my video should be spotlighted for you all. And then I'm going to go ahead and mute you. Hi, Deb. All right. So big week starting the month. We've got a whole new schedule up on the wall, and hopefully you saw it with your Friday flash. And I apologize, last Monday, I guess when she sent out the September calendar, I didn't look far enough in my calendar to realize that Yom Kippur was falling on a Monday, and I never work on Yom Kippur. It's our holiest day of the year for Jews, and my dad was in town, and my daughter was giving a reading part of the Torah at the temple, and anyway, it was a big day. So I felt terrible that I had to cancel without much notice. We did a pop-up class on Thursday, but did the Stephanie created such a beautiful flyer for it, but only Angela came. So did y'all not see it? Because she said that it went out in the Friday flash. So weird. And then she created this other beautiful flyer now announcing the 3 yoga classes. Did you guys see that? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that got out. I don't know how the communication works, but yeah, so excited to bring so much yoga to the community. And then Sue is back this month, 2 classes. So yeah, so my schedule now will be this class on Mondays, tomorrow morning, intermediate yoga. So that is for those of you who want to start going beyond the basics. And that will be sun salutations, exploring some arm balances, maybe some inversions. So definitely moving at a bit of a faster pace. And that will be Tuesdays at 10. And then bringing back yoga and meditation, that class will be Wednesdays at 1:30. And all the classes are an hour. So hope to see you on Tuesdays or Wednesdays in addition to Monday. All right, so October, welcoming in a new month, our friends online. Let's start seated. Oh, I have to get my little belt. We just have the full moon. So just this idea of welcoming in a new season, a new month, a new lunar cycle. So let's take just the first minute. I'm gonna use my little, my sister gave me this one year. It's so great, I love the sound. Being so little, it makes such a nice sound. Taking just the first minute of class to really just be silent. So invite you to close your eyes or soften the gaze, sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. And begin to bring your awareness to the middle of your brain. So find sort of the front, imagine the front of your brain, the back, the 2 sides, and bring your awareness right to the middle. Notice the position of your tongue and see if you can let the tongue soften in your mouth. Chin parallel with the earth. Inviting your spine to grow a little taller. And now think about, as you bring your awareness to the middle of your brain, think about what lights you up, and just stay focused on that as we enjoy a minute of silence. keeping the eyes closed, sharing some words from Sharon Gannon's book, The Magic 10 and Beyond. In her 4th chapter, week 4, Connecting to the Way. The Sanskrit word asana means seat. A seat is a connection to the earth, implying a relationship. The Egyptian hieroglyph representing the goddess Isis is a seat, an abstract chair, and its phonetic sound is st, like the Sanskrit root word stit, which means stability. The English word steady is related. The ancient Egyptians worshipped the quality of steady connectedness in relationship to the earth that their goddess Isis embodied. To them, she personified the ability to connect perfectly in a relationship. It was Isis who, through the power of love, was able to reassemble the dismembered body of her husband, Osiris, and bring him back to life. She was able to do that because she remembered goodness, the goodness of her eternal soul and the soul's power of love. Asana practice can bring us to yoga by helping to purify our relationship to the earth and all beings. Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras says that our asana, our seat, our connection to the earth should be steady, sthira, and joyful, sukham. Our relationship to the earth should be mutually beneficial. It should benefit ourselves and others. Our lives should not be lived selfishly. If we desire yoga to remember our connection to the Supreme Self, everything we do, including our yoga practice, must be done selflessly with the conscious intention to let go of negative tendencies that urge us to hurt others, to see ourselves as victims. Selfishness disconnects us from the yogi's way. So bringing your hands to your heart center to set your intention. The intention is what sets this practice apart from other forms of physical exercise. Ponder or answer this question for yourself in your intention. Is asana a physical or a spiritual practice? Opening the practice with the sound of Om to connect our energies, our vibration, elevating the frequency of our vibration. Om. Take a full inhale and exhale, breath out. Inhale. Flickering the eyes open, take a moment, look to your right, look to your left, greet your neighbor, your member of your community with a smile, look behind. Friends online, look all around. And let's change our seat to hero's pose. We're just going to do a little bit of pranayama to begin the practice. So grab your 2 blocks. And we'll come up to our knees. Take one block, the first block at the lowest height, the smallest sides, the smallest ends in between your 2 inner ankle bones. And your knees can be hip distance apart or wider or closer together. And then stack the other block on top. And then bring your sits bones down to sit evenly and comfortably on the block. And like I said, your knees can be apart. You can draw them toward one another if that's comfortable for your hips, for your legs, for your knees. And notice just how tall your spine gets in this seat. But also the connection of the sits bones. Imagine that they're directly on the earth, hands resting comfortably on the thighs. This pranayama is called cleansing the gut. So we'll inhale through the nose, we'll exhale through the nose, and on the exhale, start drawing your navel, your belly button, towards your spine to help empty the breath all the way out. And we'll start together, but then get into your own flow. So empty the breath fully out and take your next breath when you absolutely need to. So it'll start to vary person to person. So don't worry about your neighbor, what they're doing. So eyes can soften or come to a close. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose, start drawing the navel towards your spine as you exhale the breath fully out. Taking that inhale when you're ready. So this breath helps to activate our power center in our gut, our solar plexus, and the third chakra. That energy center resides just above your belly button, and when it's functioning well, we can trust its guidance and adjust our actions accordingly. Many of us have a tendency to hold in this area of our bodies, forcing us to take shallow breaths, never reaching this vital area, the source of empowerment. So notice, bring your awareness to the navel, drawing back toward the spine, and just notice any sensations that you might be feeling. It is in this place, the solar plexus, that we find courage. When our power center is out of balance, we are timid, may feel out of sync. Maybe not finding the words to express. Maybe wishing we had acted upon an opportunity we didn't see until it was past. Feeling that deep breath into your belly on your inhale, and on your exhale, pulling the navel in towards your spine so as to empty out completely before taking another deep breath into your belly. When we empty completely, we release stagnant energy and create more space to be filled with fresh, nourishing breath. When we practice this simple cleansing exercise, the more clear and communicative your gut feelings will be, and the more comfortable you will be to act upon them. Just a few more rounds. Let's practice one more Om using this pranayama. So on your exhale, as you Om, feel the navel pull back towards your spine. Hands can come to heart center or stay where they are. So inhale deeply through the nose. Just take a moment to notice if that Om felt any differently than the first one. And start to flicker the eyes open. Come up onto your knees, moving the blocks to the front of your mats and having them available for when we need them. It's on either side of the mat. Come to all fours, hands and knees, tabletop. And let's just start with a gentle cow and cat, massaging the spine and waking it up a little bit. So inhaling as you draw the crown of the head up, tailbone lifts up toward the sky. And exhale, continue with that feeling of pulling the navel toward the spine as you round through the back, pushing the earth away from you. Inhaling into cow. And exhaling into cat. You can linger in one or the other, but move with your breath. So on an inhale, we try and match that when we're doing a chest opener to open across the heart space, really engaging those the scapula muscles with the shoulder. So just really notice. In your own self-study here, notice all the sensations that are happening. If you feel like you're dumping weight into your wrists, try and press into your thumbs, index finger, third, fourth, fifth finger, the tips of those third, fourth, fifth fingers. Next, exhale. Stay in that rounded spinal position and then push your seat to your heels. Coming into child's pose with your arms fully extended, full breath in, and then on your exhale, wrap your arms by your legs, letting the crown of the head drop toward the earth. Full breath in. Beautiful. Really feeling the breath reach your lower back, looking to release any tension in the low back. On your next inhale, start rounding up. Make the head the last. Come up on your knees. Float the arms overhead, circling them overhead. And then coming back to tabletop, inhaling into cow. Exhale into cat, pushing back to child's pose with that rounded spine. Take a full breath in and out with the arms fully extended, really feeling that extension. Next, exhale, wrap your arms by your legs and start to round up. Sitting on your heels and then lifting up onto your knees, circling the arms overhead. Maybe the gaze looks up at your fingers this time. Exhale, down to tabletop. One more. That sequence, inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Pushing seat to heels, pushing the earth away from you. Engaging in the navel, full breath in and out here in this extended arm position. Take another inhale, and the exhale, we sweep the arms next to the legs. Next inhale, start rounding up. Coming up on the knees, inhaling the arms overhead, hands coming to to our heart center. And then let's take the left leg out to the side for gate pose. So you want to turn your toes to face the mirrors. Really root into that foot. Ran out of space. Shift yourself over, it's okay. And really rooting down, grounding down through that foot. And now I want you to take one hand to the low belly and the other hand to your sacrum, and notice if you are overarching, if you are sort of lengthen down through the spine a little bit to have your whole side body in line with your thigh. Inhale the right arm up by the ear. Draw the belly in. Start walking the left fingertips down the leg as you side bend. So don't collapse into it, don't round, but stay long. Stay reaching through the right fingertips. Beautiful. And feel that breath. Really reaching each intercostal muscle in the rib cage. So kind of one at a time. Feel that expansion. One more breath in. And then exhale, sweep it down. Tuck your right toes under and reach that right hand back for your heel. Inhale, left arm up. So just a little back bend here, chest opener. Full breath in. And exhale, release, bringing that left knee back in to meet the right. Come down, inhale into cow. Exhale into cat, pushing your seat to your heels. Exhale the breath out. Inhale, round up to standing on your knees. Inhale the arms overhead. Hands come to heart center. And then down, and we'll take the right leg out to the side. So same thing on this side. Belly or hand on the belly and on the back. So just checking in with your curvature. If you feel that overarching and that kind of tilting up of the tailbone, you want to try and just level that out. Press down through the right foot. Inhale, left arm up, finding length. Start walking fingertips down the right leg as you reach. Imagine reaching for the sky with that left hand. Beautiful. Feel the opening in the chest. And now checking in with those intercostal muscles on the left side. And noticing if there's any shifting in the hips, see if you can keep those level. Notice your left shoulder, if you need to find external rotation, find a little bit more space. And then exhale, tuck your left toes under, reach that hand back for the heel as we inhale the right arm up. Push the hips toward the front of the room. One more inhale. And then exhale, bring that right knee back in. Find tabletop and bring your hands a little bit like a handprint forward so that your wrists are in front of your shoulders. Step both feet back, finding plank pose. Push through your heels to lengthen through the legs and find engagement in the belly by drawing the navel toward the spine. Maybe feel a little engagement in the glutes. One more breath in, and then rock forward on your toes so your shoulders are really coming past your wrists. Drop your knees. Rotate your elbow creases, and then lower chin and chest hugging the elbows into the side body. Inhale, slide forward onto the belly. And then take your blocks, bring them in front of you. Extend your arms straight out from your shoulders and tent your fingertips. So the arms are off the floor, wrists are off the floor, and now rotate your fingers to face the front of the room and slide the hands in halfway. So you're making a shelf with your upper arms, bending at 90 degrees. Separate your legs a little bit to the point where you feel a release in the low back. On your inhale, imagine a balloon helping to lift you up. The balloon is your lungs. Pressing into the fingertips, lift up, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting up, feeling that openness, expansiveness across the heart space. One more time. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lower down. And then slide your hands in, close by your sides, elbows hugging in. Tuck your toes under and push yourself back up to tabletop. Inhale into cow pose. Exhale into cat with this rounded spine. Grow into downward dog. So straighten the legs. Kind of unravel the spine as the hips lift you up into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Don't worry about if the heels are touching the mat. And then pedal out your downward dog. So find some organic movement here just to kind of feel it out this morning. Find stillness. So downward dog, we don't want to place any extra pressure on the shoulders. Downward dog, we're finding this balance, our asana, our seat. So really feel almost weightless and so even, like the hips are bringing you up toward the sky. So we're getting a stretch in the hamstring muscles, but we're lengthening through the spine. One more breath in and out. Lift your gaze to look between your hands and walk one footprint to the top of the mat at a time. Heel toe gets you a little extra stretch in the hamstrings, and we'll lift up halfway. Grab one of your blocks and place it in front of you so your fingertips are resting on the block at the highest height. Notice how I'm at our halfway lift. And I'm looking for length from my tailbone out through the crown of my head. Draw the belly in. Beautiful, everyone. Really nice. Feeling that stretch in the hamstrings. Feel the weight in the back part of your feet. So more in the heels. Yep. Wiggle the toes around. Spread your toes. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift with a flat back. And with your fingers, find your hip points. Everybody find them? So everybody's different. Everybody's hip points are going to be a little different. When we hinge forward, so really dig your fingers in, like under, right at the bottom of those hip points, and lead with the heart. Notice when you hinge forward. Now lift back up. Move the hands away. Try hinging forward. Feel that lengthening of the spine versus come back up. We want to avoid this when we go into our forward fold, because look at what happens. It's going to pull on your low back. When you hinge, a really good thing to do if you have a strap or a belt at home, take the belt across here under those hips and hinge over that strap. And you'll really, really understand when we come into our forward fold with that spine long. And instead of modifying when we're in forward fold, instead of bending the knees, don't go as far. Use that block. So coming into Uttanasana to your edge, we want to find that hamstring stretch. One more breath in. And out. Now put your fingertips back on the block and bend your knees a lot. So we're coming in a chair pose, but use the block to start. So I want you to focus right now, putting the weight in the back of your feet, in your heels. You could even take your toes and wiggle them around. Your seat is moving towards your heels. Then bring your arms back, Superman arms. Bring your belly off the thighs. Inhale, arms, rotate them up by the ears. Spine long. If your knees are going past your toes, you want to sit back in your chair a little deeper. Beautiful, everyone. And then inhale, straighten the legs. Reach the arms up to lengthen. Hands to heart center. Tadasana. Take a moment here in Tadasana, really feeling the rooting down, the energetic pull up. Inhale the arms overhead. We're going to put this together. Exhale, hinging forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Bend your knees. Fingertips can stay on the block, or when you're ready, bringing the arms up by the ears. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, stand. Reach the fingertips up. Maybe add a little arching of the upper back. Hands to heart center. Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, dive forward, hinging at your hips, finding your forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, and then bend your knees. Sits bones yearning to reach your heels. Inhale, arms up by the ears. We're going to add a twist. Bring hands to heart center. Twist to the right, hooking that left elbow with right knee. So the little adjustment you can make is notice if your left knee is reaching forward. If it is, draw it back. And when you do that, notice what happens in your hips. Beautiful, everyone. Rooting down through the feet for stability, steady and sweet. Notice if you're holding your breath. Full breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center, and just come into your forward fold. Straighten the legs and fold forward. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, lift up halfway. Bend the knees, finding chair pose. Arms float up by the ears as an option. Hands to heart center, twist to the left. And then notice if your right knee is jutting forward, draw it back a little bit. Joyce, draw that right knee back a little. Right knee back. in. We can do hard things. Inhale, hands to heart center. Straighten the legs, reach the arms overhead. Little arching of the upper back. Hands to heart center. One hand over the heart, one hand over the low belly. That cleansing gut breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, drawing the navel toward the spine. Feeling the prana in the body, the energy you're moving. Tadasana. Let's add on a little bit more. So inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, dive forward, finding our forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Fingertips to the block and then sitting back. So now bring your hands to the block. So you have that full support and you're bending a little deeper. And then balance on your left foot as you bring your right foot back. Finding low lunge. Bring your hands to your heart center and twist to the left. Resting that right elbow. Beautiful. When we feel instability, when we fall out of a pose, it is an opportunity to just learn more about humility and our ego. If you fall out, smile, laugh, come back in. Inhale, hands back to center, hands to the block. Push off that right foot and step it forward. Inhale, arms up by the ears, chair pose. Inhale, straighten the legs, arms are reaching up. Imagine holding that full moon that we just had. And then hands to heart center, Tadasana. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead, diving forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Bend the knees like you're coming into chair, then support yourself. Place hands on that block. Step that left leg back. Hands now come to heart center and we're going to twist to the right. Right knee over right ankle. See if you can sink into that knee a little bit more. Maybe take that left foot back just a little bit more. So you can drop the pelvic floor toward the earth. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, hands back to heart center, to the block. Push off that left foot, step it forward. And inhale, lift to stand. Hands to heart center. Tadasana. Bring our hands to our hips. Put a little bend in the knees just to soften them. And then balance on your left foot, lifting that right foot off the mat. Notice if your right hip just came up and see if you can draw it back down. And then continue lifting that right leg, that right knee to a 90-degree angle. Flexing the right foot. Move that foot around, rotate, circle it around one direction, and then the other. And then mindfully bring that leg behind you, coming into high lunge now. So low lunge is here. High lunge. Our foot is in a little closer, but we're still looking for extension in the back leg. Arms floating up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften shoulders. Turning pinkies in toward each other to help that external rotation of the shoulders. One more breath in. And then exhale, hands down to that block. And now drop that right heel down. Make sure that your 2 feet are on different planks of wood. So in other words, don't have that right foot behind the left. Have it moving toward the right edge of your mat. Deepen the bend in that left knee and then fly your arms behind you, Superman arms. On an inhale, sweep the arms up to the ears as you lift up into Warrior One. Beautiful. Hips shining forward. Notice the extension in that right leg is similar to the high lunge. But now rooting down through both feet, finding strength and stability, stira and sukham, steady and joyful. Exhale, hands down, this time to the mat. And then step your left leg back to meet the right, finding plank pose. Rock yourself forward, lower knees, chest and chin, so a little vinyasa in between sides. Slide forward, inhaling into cobra, and exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under, push your seat to your heels, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out, look between your hands. Either walk your feet up, or if anybody wants to hop forward, they can. And then you can lift to stand either by rolling up or with a flat back. And hands to heart center, Tadasana. So bring your block back to in front of you, so you've got it at the highest. We start by balancing on the right foot. So soften the knees a little bit. Lift that left foot off the mat. Make sure your hips are still level and continue lifting it up. Maybe for some you want to put your foot on the block. You can, if you want to do that, to just practice then that feeling of rooting down through the right foot. The only rules in yoga are to not hurt yourself. Sweep that, rotate that foot around. Some energy going in that ankle, and then we'll bring it behind us, setting up for high lunge. So the feet are on 2 different planks of wood. When you're steady, arms float up, rooting down through the right foot. And try and, if your ankle is turning in or out, see if you can have your ankle lifting straight up. See if that gives you any more stability, so that that left leg, the knee is facing down. Beautiful. One more breath. Really feel extension in that back leg. And then exhale, hands down to the block, to then drop that left heel to set up for Warrior One. So the idea here is that you bring your weight forward so that it's a little easier to drop that heel down. Get steady first. Inhale the arms behind you, find Superman arms. Notice shoulders are stacking with hips, and then inhale the arms up, finding your Warrior One. Full breath in and out. Inhale the breath in and exhale it out. One more inhale, and then exhale the hands down to the mat. Pivot that back foot, step the right foot back. Lengthen through both legs, finding plank pose, and then rock yourself forward and lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing the arms forward, finding our Sphinx pose. So elbows, first thing, the distance between the elbows. Wrap your fingers around the outside of your elbows. If you can wrap your fingers around the elbows, then you're at the right distance, and then bring the forearms down to the floor and mat. Spread your fingers. And the elbows should be just in front of your shoulders. Beautiful. Nice. Bring your awareness to your sacrum, this part of the low back. So notice if the distance between your legs is allowing that sacrum to not feel bunched up or feel like there's a box in the sacrum. So if you're still feeling compression there, you can take your legs just a little bit wider until you feel that release in the low back. And then with your breath, so we're looking for this pose to be an extension, spinal extension. Might mean turning your pubic bone toward the mat a little bit and imagine squeezing a coin in between your cheeks, activating the glutes. When we activate the glutes, that's when the real release takes place. Feel the breath opening and lifting the heart space. One more full breath in. And then exhale, releasing down, and stack your hands so your forehead can rest on the backs of your hands. Bend your knees. Take your knees as wide as your mat, and then windshield wiper the legs slowly from right to left. Feel the belly pressing against the mat on your inhales and exhales. The breath coming from the diaphragm, helping to slow our heartbeat down a little bit. And then let the legs come down to the mat. Bring the legs a little closer together. Slowly rolling onto your back. The head can be facing the mirror, that's fine. And then grab your block, grab one of your blocks, and place it on your left side. So we're gonna use this under to support our knee when we come into our twist. So extend fully onto your mat. Flex your feet so your toes are pointing up to the ceiling and the heels reaching toward the mirrors. And then draw your right knee, lift it up and bring it to a 90-degree angle. Take your arms out to the sides, extending out from the shoulders, palms face up. And then start to rotate onto the left side of your body, dropping that right knee. You might need to adjust that block to the middle height. It doesn't reach the block at the lowest. And you can shift onto that left hip. You want to be fully rotated on your left side. Let that left foot go soft. Support yourself in this revolved abdomen twist. Keeping that top knee bent at a 90-degree. Right arm, that shoulder softening. Put the palms up to the ceiling, and that helps that external rotation. Beautiful. Does that feel good with the block? Yeah. Allow that whole left side of the body to be soft. If you feel like you're holding yourself up anywhere, where can you release into the twist? We do twists after back bends to help release the low back. To really bring your awareness to the low back, allow it to soften. Notice the opening of the right side of your heart space, the muscles between your heart space and the shoulder. Getting some breath into those muscles. One more full breath in and out, and then the next inhale, rock onto your back. Neutralize your spine, hug both knees into your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side, massage it out. Grab your block, place it on the right side. Extend right leg out onto the mat. So find that 90-degree angle with the left knee. Really lengthen through the right leg, push through the heel. And then arms out to the side. Start bringing that left knee over to meet the block. Adjust as you need to. Allow yourself to roll onto that right side. Supporting your twist with the block. Allow that right foot to release and soften. You might need to shift your hip, that bottom hip a little bit to find the twist. Beautiful, everyone. Maybe soften the gaze or close the eyes. Full breath in. And out. One more. Full breath in and out. Really see where else you can release any parts of the body that you're holding up. Next, inhale, rotate onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. And then drop your feet to the mat and take your feet as wide as your mat. Have a comfortable distance, a good foot or foot and a half between your sits bones and your heels. And then bring your hands to your belly and allow the knees to drop down to the right. Inhale, bring the knees through center, drop them over to the left. Inhale them through center. This time when they drop to the right, keep them there. Allow them to settle. Maybe even lift your right foot and rest it on top of your left knee to deepen. And then inhale the right arm overhead. Left arm overhead, left arm. And right hand can be on the floor supporting you in this. Gliding that left shoulder blade under a little bit, or if that's too intense, you could also bring that left arm to cactus, bending at the elbow, making a half goalpost arm. So encouraging our psoas muscle here to release. Stretching the left side, left hip flexor. One more breath in. On your exhale, release that foot if you had it on top. Feet are still as wide as your mat. Bring that left arm down. Inhale the knees through center. And take them over to the left side. So that right knee falling to the inside of the left heel. Deepening it by lifting the left foot and resting it on top of the right knee. Option to float that right arm overhead or to cactus arm. Left hand pressing into the floor a little bit to help support you. Really feeling this whole right side getting long, getting open. Next exhale, float that right arm down, release the left foot, bring the knees back to center, and then heel toe your feet in a little closer, so feet are hip distance apart, and then I want you to take your block, setting up for supported shoulder stand. So press into your feet and slide your block under your sacrum, that lowest part of your back. So you feel that bony part of your low back resting on the block. The lowest height. Don't take the middle height because we're not doing supported bridge. We're going to bring our legs up. So then one knee at a time, bring it to 90 degrees. And then extend your legs up to the ceiling. And your palms can be pressing into the earth, or if you want to have this be more receptive, so the other way might be more grounding for you. Or receptive, turning the palms up. Beautiful. Feeling supported. When we reverse our bodies, it helps to, one, anatomically reverse our circulation. So allowing all the weight to drain from your heels down the legs. But it also helps to maybe shift thoughts, attitude. Inversions help our circulation system, help our digestive system. So just another few breaths here. Trace your breath. Keep your mind focused on your breathing. Then slowly start to bend your knees, bringing your feet down to the floor. Pressing into the feet to lift your hips to remove the block. Coming into constructive rest. So take the block out from under, let your back fully settle. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. So let's start with our knees bent. So let's start with the knees bent in constructive rest, and then I'll let you know when to take corpse pose. But just allow the low back to release here. Let the knees and thighs fall together. Hands come to the belly. Really feeling yourself being breathed here and allowing yourself to land to begin our rest. Feeling steadiness, to let the muscles in your face soften. So maybe it's the forehead. To soften the jaw, maybe open the mouth wide, and then just let the mouth close naturally, lips coming back together. If the back feels good in this pose, stay here with the knees bent. Or if you prefer to straighten the legs and find corpse pose, your choice. Ideally, whatever feels more comfortable for the back, for you to be able to surrender into stillness. We've got the moving thing down pretty good. Takes a little practice to find stillness. Practicing the artist. It is perfectly natural for thoughts to come into your mind when you are still. So practice softening those swirlings. When a thought comes into your mind, no judgment, don't beat yourself up over it, but practice then focusing on your breath or a mantra. Maybe silently saying to yourself, I am. Anytime we repeat a mantra, it helps to calm the whirlings of the mind. Maybe finding the middle of your brain again, focusing on what lights you up. soften, the more we can release into the support beneath us, the more opportunity we have for healing, for creating the space to activate courage, the more clear and communicative our gut feelings can move to the mind. Start inviting in a deeper breath, small movements. Bringing yourself to a more awakened state, wiggling toes and fingers, circling wrists and ankles, maybe floating the arms overhead. And then drawing the knees into your chest, rolling onto your right side. Take a couple of breaths there before bringing yourself up to a seat to help avoid any lightheadedness. And as you rest on your right side, come back to your intention. Were you able to answer that question for yourself? Is asana a physical or spiritual practice? As you make your way up to a seat, I'll share Sharon Gannon's answer to that question. To practice yoga, you must have a physical body. Your intention while you are practicing asana will determine the result of the practice. And your thoughts are the most powerful force working upon you. For an asana practice to be a spiritual practice, the practitioner has to intend it to be. Many people choose to practice yoga asanas to improve their level of physical fitness, and that is perfectly okay. But for anyone wanting more, asana has more to offer. The practice can bring you to enlightenment. How? By helping to shift your perception of yourself and others. Asana can be a therapeutic practice that improves our relationships. Bring your hands to your heart center, a soft bow of the head toward your heart to thank you yourself for being here, for inviting yoga into your life, and for being part of this community. Let's seal the practice with the sound of Om to kind of seal that we are here together as a community. Take a full inhale, exhale it out, and as you Om, draw your navel toward your spine. Inhale. As always, it is truly an honor and a privilege to lead you in this practice. Have a beautiful day. Thank you all. Just keep practicing. Just go for forever. Thanks, Deb. Thanks, Olivia.
Thank you. Thank you. It was wonderful. Bye, bye, Olivia.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi. Good to be back to yoga. See you later.
Oh, good to have
Hear
you.
you.
Yeah. All right. Hope to see some of you tomorrow. 10 o'clock. We're playing golf. Yeah. Golf day. Good. And Olivia, I'll double check. I'm assuming that I'm offering both online as well.
Did you read my mind?
I
I
did.
really appreciate you doing Zoom.
They're supposed to be virtual. So I just have to see if I have to get a different link or not. So, but yeah, you know, if you're able to join tomorrow,
Excellent.
yeah, I'll get that sorted out with Stephanie today.
And I like it because then like sometimes in the evening I need it and you're on demand because they're recorded. So I can do it later in the evening when I want to chill.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I
I'll get
really
it sorted out. I
appreciate
should have thought of getting it sorted last week. All right, I will figure that out.
thank you. I appreciate it.
You
Have a
bet.
good one.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.